one nation of freedom. You're watching the 50 States of AR-15 on Big Gunner 81. Brought to you by BATArms.com.
Welcome everyone to the 50 States of AR-15. I'm your host, Rick, aka Big Gunner 81. Thanks for stopping by the channel and checking out the video. Today we're going to be talking about the Wisconsin rifle here I got in my hands. But before I begin into it, I want to thank all the companies that have helped out to make this possible. First off, Vortex Optics, American Defense Manufacturing, Criterion Barrels, Midwest Industries, and MGS Firearms. All these companies kind of chipped in to help make this rifle happen for us today. So we're going to kind of start out with the muzzle brake and kind of work our way back and kind of talk a little bit about the components of this rifle. Basically, it's a Griffin Armament style muzzle brake that was supplied by American Defense Manufacturing. In fact, it has their logo on it. This muzzle brake is designed to accept a Griffin Armament suppressor, which unfortunately in Illinois, where I am at, they're not quite legal yet for us to have. Next up, we've got the Midwest Industries G3, the Gen 3 lightweight handguards. The 15-inch handguard has some nice scalloping along the corners of the handguard. Also has the M-LOK, as you can see, the M-LOK attachments is M-LOK compatible. Has a rail section in the front on the top here, so you can put a front flip-up sight if you want to. Also comes with a removable rail section that you can move around wherever you want. So if you want to run a light or some other accessory, you can do that. Also has quick detach points. Has 5 quick detach points. There are 2 on the front and the side, 1 on the bottom, and 2 on the sides and the back of the rail. Next up, we got the Criterion Barrels, 16-inch hybrid barrel, which I'm going to let Josh tell you about right now.
The barrel we're sourcing for this particular project, the 50 States of AR-15, is a mid-length hybrid contour. So you gotta get the best of both worlds as far as the barrel thickness goes, so you're not going to have the barrel heating up after an extended course of fire and adjusting your point of impact. So it's a nice thickness, but it's not so heavy where you're really dreading lugging it around in the field for a couple hours like you would with a H-bar or a DCM or a, kind of a bull contour barrel. So it's a good mix between each of them. We've been seeing about half-minute performance with hand loads and sub-minute performance with factory match ammunition. And that's off a chrome line barrel. So that's fairly unprecedented as far as the firearm industry goes. Chrome line barrels kind of have a reputation for poor accuracy, but we've got a couple tricks up our sleeve that alleviate that problem.
So thank you, Josh, for telling us a little bit about the barrel. Next up, after the handguard and the barrel, we've got the receiver set, which is both are from MGS Firearms. It's basically, I think it's 6065 aluminum, forged receiver set. They also helped us out with some of the lower components too, like the magazine release is one of them. So the receiver set, you might have heard us kind of talking about that in the video we did with Jake from MGS Firearms, which is a smaller mom and pop type gun shop that now has receivers and other components manufactured as well. They're also doing complete rifle builds too. Very cool. I'm very happy for them. They're a nice group of people there. Known them for a little while here, and they're really nice to work with and just great people in general. So check them out. But some of the cool features about the receiver is that they're really kind of made or designed around the idea of building it yourself. For example, the pin here for the bolt catch or bolt release, whatever you want to call it, is actually a screw instead of a pin where you have to drive the pin in with a hammer and a punch or whatever, which you can risk scratching up your receiver. They used a threaded pin or a threaded screw. I think they might call it a dogleg screw. I'm not sure that's the correct term, but that's one feature. They also have the rear detent spring hole threaded, so it has a set screw to hold the detent spring in place. So if you take the stock off, the spring doesn't go flying across the room. They also have an adjustment for the tension between the upper and lower, which makes for a really nice solid fit. There is no wiggle between the upper and lower on this rifle. It is solid. So those are some of the features of the lower receiver and the upper receiver and everything. They're hard coated. Upper receiver also has the MGS logo on it, just as the bottom has the logo actually engraved into the receiver. Next up, some of the lower components. Well, actually, before I get into the lower components, the bolt. You might be able to see that. Has the American Defense Manufacturing logo on it. It's their premium bolt carrier group. It's nitride coated, mag particle tested. It's a really nice bolt carrier group. You can call it, I guess, kind of like mil spec, or maybe even better than mil spec. It's not a lightweight bolt or anything like that, but it's a really nice, well-built, high-quality bolt, no doubt. To move on to the lower parts, something else made by American Defense Manufacturing We have their enhanced bolt release or bolt catch. Gives a little bit larger paddle for you to kind of engage with. We also have their 60-degree ambidextrous safety selector, which you might notice on one side has a smaller throw lever, and the other side have a longer throw lever. You can actually flip those around left and right, so you can customize it if you're left-handed or right-handed, which is kind of a neat feature. And it is a 60-degree throw lever, if I didn't mention that, so it's not the full 90 degrees, straight up and down when you're on fire, which is kind of cool because it gives you a little bit of a quicker flick, especially for competition use. It'd be nice. The trigger on it is a 2-stage trigger. It's adjustable, so it's kind of like a competition or a match grade type trigger, but kind of a mix. Honestly, I like to think of this rifle as kind of a mix between competition and a defensive rifle, combat rifle, whatever you want to call it. A lot of the components are really set up for that aspect, but at the same token, we also have the competition trigger and this ambidextrous safety. Things like that kind of add to the effect for competition slightly. So moving along to some of the other components on the lower, the magazine catch is also from MGS Firearms. Don't know if I mentioned that. Our trigger guard is a Bravo Company manufacturing. Also, we got the Bravo Company manufacturing grip, the gunfighter grip, and their gunfighter charging handle as well, ambidextrous charging handle. Has lever on both sides. Also, the stock is their gunfighter stock, which is pretty cool. You kind of squeeze it and you can adjust it. Kind of a smaller stock. I forget what the term for it is, like a SOP mod or something. I forget. But you guys can let me know in the comments. I probably screwed that all up and sound stupid, but whatever. The other thing we're also not mentioning yet is this buffer tube buffer assembly is all American Defense Manufacturing. In fact, you may have seen from the NRA videos, from the NRA show from 2016, the enhanced buffer weight assembly or buffer assembly kind of has segmented weights on it with rubber insulators between them. It's supposed to help with the bolt bounce. Very neat buffer system. Also have their quick detach end plate too, so you can actually have on this rifle not only on the handguard quick detach points, but if you want to run a single point sling, you can attach it right at the rear of the end plate right there. Will swivel right in the middle. It's very ambidextrous. I believe you can also do the same thing with the QD points with the stock as well. I think that's most everything, but this thing just feels really nice. Like I said, no play between the upper and lower, and you can adjust that out too with the tension screw on the bottom. So that's the rifle itself. Now the optic, kind of decided to throw a Strike-Fire, the original Strike-Fire from Vortex on here. Now, for those of you who don't know, a lot of the Vortex products are made overseas, but they're a US-based company. Now, you're going to have a hard time finding a US-based company that makes optics, realistically, and if you do, they're going to be very, very, very expensive. Vortex is based out of Wisconsin, and they carry a lifetime warranty. So, for example, this is the Generation 1 Strike-Fire. If this one ever gets damaged, breaks, whatever, they will stand behind their warranty, and actually, from what I understand, now I could be wrong, it might even change too, the warranty is always subject to change, they will actually replace it with a Strike-Fire 2, the current version of the optic. But I don't see that happening anytime soon. This is a pretty durable optic and a nice setup, so decided to top it off with that, and I'm going to go ahead and take it out to range, put some rounds down range with it, test it out, which we have done a little bit already, and it shoots really well, but I'm going to put some more through it because it's just so much fun to shoot. Also, want to mention that we're going to do some swag giveaways. So coming up on Facebook, you're going to see some posts where we're going to be giving away some swag from the companies that were all involved with this project. So you'll see some decals and hats and things like that. We're going to do one little kind of giveaway package for this rifle. So stay tuned to that, and yeah, thank you for following along with this project. I appreciate the support. It's been a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to building the next 49 rifles for this project. Till then, stay tuned and have fun shooting.